Today is the day. It's an exciting day today. Yay! So today is the day that we get to do all the fun things to good old Greta the Miata. God, getting out of this driveway is so hard. So today is the day that I meet up with Joe from Time Warp Tuning and finally get everything installed into the Miata that I bought over the past 2 weeks. We have RX-8 fuel injectors because right now we're running the stock fuel injectors. We have a front mount intercooler. We have a new ECU. I got the MS3. We were waiting to install everything until the new ECU came because we're gonna have to get it. We're gonna have to keep retuning it as we keep installing things now to make sure the car is running fine. The ECU finally came. And it's time. So we got about an hour drive ahead of us until we get to Joe's crib. Sometimes I forget how fun it is to drive this thing. Holy shit. The man himself.
What's going on, man?
What up, what up?
Ready to make some power?
I'm ready. This is the homie Joe. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm
Quick
Joe
intro.
from Time Warp Tuning. We build Miatas, tune Miatas.
This is the man that's been helping my clueless ass learn what I'm doing, essentially. He's gonna convince me to turbo my Miata, which I'm already convinced realistically. He said this is the car that'll convince me.
It's not making too much power. It's just a stock motor car. This is a realistic goal. You know, it's not like some expensive over-the-top build. It's like
It's attainable. It's doable.
It's obtainable. You know.
All right. It even just sounds nice, just idling. I like it. Just the. Oh. Holy shit! All right, I want one. That's actually absolutely absurd. Oh, okay. I want one. I don't want my car anymore. I'll trade you. And then there was mine.
So the objective is pretty simple. Number one, get injectors in, get the MS3 in, the speedy out, and the intercooler.
Okay.
It's not a ton of work, but we're gonna take it slow. Obviously, take you through it.
The goal is for me to learn.
Yeah.
The goal isn't even, I'm not taking it to Joe to get work done on my car. I'm taking it to Joe so he can teach me how to do work on my own car in the long run.
Yeah, so we're gonna take it slow, kind of walk through it and kind of explain what everything does, you know, just so you can understand the difference of some of the parts that you have already. Get the MS3 in, have a better driving car. The Speedies are fine, but they're just a pretty miserable tuning experience.
So you think I'm gonna walk out of here noticeably with a better feeling car?
Absolutely, dude.
Really?
I mean, there's no question about it.
Sick,
yeah.
All right. First thing we want to work on is getting rid of the stock fuel injectors and putting in the RX-8 fuel injectors.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I don't even know what a fuel injector does. Elaborate.
So your stock 160 injectors are like 210 cc or 230 cc or something like that, which is fine for a stock vehicle, completely stock. But you obviously have a supercharger making, I don't know, 5-6 pounds of boost. Okay. It's not enough fuel. I mean, you're probably going to be 100% duty cycle on the injectors.
Okay.
Typically you want to keep that under 80% safely.
And you say because we're making boost, those injectors are probably getting pushed beyond their max, or to their max?
They're at their absolute limit, which is, it's not really good to do that to an injector. So we'll upgrade those to RX-8s. The RX-8s are good for about 220-ish horsepower at the wheels. Okay. Which that means you have some room to grow with the turbo.
Cool. The simplified version of it is that my stock injectors work good with the stock car because I'm making boost, they're getting pushed to their max. Yeah. Therefore we're getting upgraded fuel injectors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You're gonna remove these 4 8mm screws, remove this valve out the way, remove these 2 12mm nuts on 1/6s, there's gonna be 3 on 1/8. Do not lose these little spacers here. If you lose them, they'll fall into the void and you never find them again. You can remove the fuel lines, pull the fuel rail out, pull the injectors out. That's what a 30-year-old injector looks like.
Ugh, you think the thing's never left the car?
I bet these are original.
The injectors are in, and the next step is that. We already took the bumper off, we kind of forgot to film. But that's going on now. Step 2 is the front mount intercooler. And this one I understand the purpose of it. I understand what it does. Joe actually came over to my house when I first got the Miata because it needed to be retuned, and he said that my intake temps were extremely high. Do you remember what it was?
So let's go through this. You have an M45 supercharger on your car.
Okay.
It's notoriously hot, even at low boost levels. The first time we tuned the car, intake temps were north of 200 degrees. The car didn't have any safeties in it, so it wouldn't pull power as intake temps got hotter. It's just a bad time.
Okay.
The intercooler is going to drastically reduce those temps. It's going to make more power. It's going to not heat soak so bad. It's not going to get lazy. It's, you know, it should be consistent. It's going to be safer for your motor. There's no downside to running a front mount besides the fact that we got a universal kit and we're going to have to
piece it together.
Yeah, we're just piecing it together, doing it how everybody at home can do it. You go from supercharger, intercooler cools the air, goes to intercooler, to your throttle body.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do this. We're gonna try to figure this out.
Let's do it.
Right now we are taking out things to try to make as much room as possible for the intercooler. So this is all the stuff that was part of the AC that didn't work in the first place. And that is clearing up all this space in there.
So there's some more room up here once we get rid of the compressor.
Okay.
And just the way the supercharger setup is, it's not like whoever had this car before you clearly made whatever this is.
You can tell.
And this is the Mercedes supercharger, right?
Yeah, it's off of a Mercedes compressor.
Yeah, so it's not really made for a Miata, so stuff doesn't fit right. We're gonna intercool it and make it easier to work on and make room for everything. Just get rid of the shit. So all of that is much more open than it was. Cleaned up over here too. And that is where the intercooler is gonna go. Look at that. Looks like I got 40 extra horsepower already. No more heat soak, baby.
Alright, it's about that time to mount the intercooler. We took out all the AC components and we should have enough space.
We're gonna bolt here on each side.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of mount it where we can. It's a universal intercooler, so I mean, if we had our welder, we can fabricate some brackets and weld it somewhere else, but this is going to be more than sufficient.
It's all like in the meantime, you know. I'm already convinced to swap it with a 1.8 and turbo it and make it like Joe's, so I know. He succeeded in making me want to turbo it.
A few moments later.
We have the front mount intercooler there, obviously. The bumper is back on. We moved the blow-off valve, so now it's over here. It'll be hard to see. Blow-off valve's behind that wheel. Hey Joe, what's that threaded sensor thing?
Intake air temp sensor.
Intake air temp sensor?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the intercooler piping. That's the intake air temp sensor, which we had to put into there. That's the idle control valve. That had to go into there. That goes into the intercooler. This just comes up and goes into the supercharger. Injectors are in, intercooler's in. Third and final step, huh? We did injectors, we did intercooler. Third and final step is the easiest one. It's just the ECU.
So the Speedy EFI is a very budget-friendly ECU. It kind of just gives you an ECU to put in the car and start tuning. It's standalone. Going to MS3, we're gonna have a much better time tuning the car, and you'll just get much better drivability. We'll have much more options as far as expandability. Like that, MS3 is an ECU you can grow into. So long story short, I don't have to upgrade my ECU anytime soon. Yeah, you just buy the right ECU the first time and get it out of the way. Okay, and I'm assuming this is the easiest one yet. Just unplug, replug. Unplug, replug. Sweet, that's all it is.
And just like that, we're good?
Just like that, we're good. I think we're ready for the first start.
The first boot up. It's not even tuned yet, and it would take a couple tries to start up before. Alright, ready? It's so crazy to me how you can just plug into my car. I don't know why that's so weird to me. Alright, we're plugged in. His computer is now reading my car. That's so trippy. Alright, let's go. Even just besides that little stutter issue, that's the stutter issue that we're talking about. Besides that, a lot of the car's drivability issues, they resolve themselves just from the new ECU. I think now it's just a matter of tuning out certain things, maybe giving it a sort of a crackle tune if we're into that. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna let Joe drive, let Joe work his magic and kind of see what we can what we can get the car to do. We just got back after our first, what do you call it, a tuning session? After our first drive?
Yeah, getting it dialed in.
Okay, after getting it dialed in, and we already noticed a huge difference in intake temps, meaning the intercooler is doing its job.
So this is before the intercooler. We got 174 degrees intake temps on average. We had a maximum here of 248, which is...
That's hot, right?
It's insane.
Okay.
Insanely hot. Even 174 is insanely hot.
Okay, so 248 is just absurd?
Yeah, that's the peak, but you know, average driving around 174. If we go over to with the intercooler, you're 93 degrees.
Wow.
Had a max of 105.
So literally 100-degree
Literally
difference.
100 degree. It's night and day.
Holy shit. 100-degree difference from the intercooler.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's keep tuning. As we're driving around, Joe is like pulling over, making some fine adjustments, driving it again, pulling over, making adjustments. And as of right now, it feels like it's driving good.
Yeah, so it's tuning a whole lot better now. I mean, the changes we're making actually making a difference, like the last ECU that's in the car.
Right.
Drivability is a lot better now. It's tuning like in my head like how it should.
Damn, she sounds kind of good, huh?
Healthy.
You can just hear the supercharger go. Better?
Much better.
Joe just finished tuning, getting the car sounding much better. Can you hear it? We also add a little bit of a burble tune just so we get some snap, crackles, and pops, because I like a loud, annoying car, so we added a little one. I wanted to step out and hear it from the side of the road and see. I don't know, it feels like a whole new car, dude. I'm excited. Oh, that sounds like a whole new car. That's crazy. That's crazy how big of a difference it is now. Dude, it literally sounds like a brand new car.
Right?
That's insane. All right, well, Joe, success. Thank you again for everything. Yeah. I feel like I'm slowly actually learning what I'm doing, and it's a very good feeling. We don't want to crash. They're having a party there, so we're trying to make it past there before we vlog. Oh, success.
Okay.
Where can people reach out to you? What do you work on? Tell us about, plug yourself
So
here.
I do standalone ECU tuning, so pretty much anything with a standalone. You can find me at Time Warp Tuning. We build Miatas, we build cars. If you get any questions, you can just DM me.
He's a good guy. It's as simple as that, short, sweet, to the point. But yeah, I'll obviously have his Instagram down below in the description. Like he said, standalone ECUs, not just Miatas, although I can vouch for his Miata helpfulness. Even just looking at the Miata now, you can see the intercooler. She looks fierce now. Look at that, just sitting outside there. He looks like a real Miata now. Then there's this thing, but that's a whole other story. Thank you again, man.
Hey,
I really
man.
do appreciate it.
Take it easy.
I'll be in touch.
Hell yeah.
Once I blow it up, and then we swap it for a turbo engine.
Big power.